Justin and I are always trying to use some current lingo or some phrases. And now that we actually legitimately have teenagers here, Justin, we can check.
I don't like how you're saying we like to use phrases because I know better. But my years in student ministry taught me don't try.
Okay.
Don't try.
So can you still say bet?
Yes. Bet is a
that's
very
good.
frequently used word.
And that means I agree with you. Bet.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or like, let's do this. Like,
Can you are you still saying cap? No cap.
No, I don't say it. Do you say it?
I don't say it, but I hear it often.
What about Riz? Is that come and gone?
What about
Yeah,
Riz?
Riz is a newer word.
Yeah, Riz is still really funny.
Yeah, Riz is still a good word. Like you wouldn't ever use it like seriously, but it's just like a funny like meme.
Yeah,
So
like W Riz.
Yeah.
So
it's, like,
for our audience, Riz comes from the word charisma.
Yes.
Meaning that someone has these qualities that you like.
right.
But I don't know that you guys use it that way.
I think we
I
do.
think that Riz is like, oh, like you've got, I don't know actually.
Like you've got play. Like you can like get.
I mean,
whoever
it's
you
short
want.
for charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we just don't really think of it like that.
So what about, am I still not allowed to use the word lit? Is that still gone?
I feel like it kind of went away, but I feel like it's gonna back.
It's funny. It's
Does
a
it
funny
come
word.
back?
Can you say lit, but it has to be the word crazy in front of it?
Crazy lit?
I use crazy lit a lot.
Okay.
It's embarrassing, but
No, I think it's a funny word. Like if you're trying to like get a laugh with your friends, like yeah.
yeah. I
Y'all
think
aren't
so
like
too.
skibbity toilet generation though. That's like below you.
Skibbity
Yeah.
toilet. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
That's like
They-
lower than
All the
you.
kids at
Yeah.
church are always saying like skibbity toilet.
Yeah.
Is that a
So
generalized?
Do
or
you
is it
even
just-
know what it means?
No, I'm not.
See,
I
there's
wish I knew.
even slang
Is it like
that's
Minecraft?
younger than
Is it
them.
like Minecraft? Like a
That
streamer
is-
said it?
I couldn't tell you. And I heard that they don't even have a definition for it. It's almost like a filler word for that generation. They just say it.
They just
for
say it like
whatever.
no context.
Skibbity toilets?
But it's like some sort of meme or video or Minecraft
is-
or Roblox thing. But it's,
I think
I'm
there's
just
streamers.
I'm just pointing out that even they are too old for some lingo.
That's
like every
true.
generation.
It's weird.
Like, I only hear it because I hear the elementary schoolers say it.
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
time.
if I were to say that, I don't think I'd have friends. So
Is it still like if something's really good or delicious, do you still say that is
Bussin'.
Bus?
Yes,
So you still use that?
buzz,
Buzz, yes.
yes,
it
I
is
still
buzz.
use
I
buzz.
text that all the time.
Yeah.
What about
Say it.
fire?
like yeah,
Yeah.
but like not as much as I used
Yeah.
to.
Mm.
You dropped off of the use
Yeah.
of fire.
Yeah.
I've dropped off fire.
So
for sure.
now we're moving into relationship discussion, not like your statuses, but
Wait, are we gonna start the show or like you just want to like go?
yeah,
let's start
Are you
the
gonna
show.
introduce us?
Yeah,
we're
she
going to
just wants
introduce you.
jump right
I could just
into it.
hang out
Do you-
and visit
I
all
mean,
day, which is what we're
Jennifer's
about
just
to do.
so excited that Olivia
Perfect.
wants to hang out with her.
I know,
And
she just-
like she has to talk to her
Yes,
now.
we
Like,
all
she
have
can't.
3 hours.
Hey, we need to podcast every
This
single
podcast is going to
day.
be 8 hours long, and Jennifer's going to get everything out of Olivia. She's always wanted to
It
get
will
out of
be
her.
the 6-hour show
Oh, goodness.
where you,
They're
hear my
gonna
life.
have to, like,
Let's,
Okay, well, if it's going to be
Exactly.
6 hours, do you want to go ahead and get started?
let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast from the City Rise Network. Hosted by Jennifer Dennis and produced by me, Justin Kello. We're a podcast that was supposed to be focused on parenting, but we've kind of lost the plot along the way. Honestly, we don't know what this podcast is about, but we talk to incredible people who love Jesus, and our hope is to provide encouragement and fun whenever possible. If our lack of clear direction bothers you, we apologize, but no one is making you listen to this podcast, unless you're married to Jennifer. Andy, thanks for listening.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast. We're excited you're here today. Thank you for listening.
And or watching.
Justin, welcome back.
Hey, yeah,
I haven't sat with you since we were on spring break.
It's been a long time.
I think you won spring break.
You
It
think
looked
I
like
won
you
spring
had
break?
a blast.
I think I was with my family longer than God intended families to be together. I think by the end of the trip, I was like, I don't think God meant for families to be this together.
We've
on a
crossed
trip.
over.
Because we had originally planned a 5-night trip to Vegas and Utah, which was great. And then Friday night, the storms rolled in and our flights got canceled. And they're like, okay, first flight out, that's available is Monday. I'm like, literally 3 more nights.
Oh,
of this trip.
no.
And so it was good, but I was
Did you have to pay for 3 more nights in a hotel?
Well, so fortunately, Kristen's sister, one of her sisters lives in Utah. And so we kind of were like that morning, bye. Oh, we love you. It's so good to see you. And then like we get to the airport and we're like, hey, can we come back to your house?
Good news, bad news.
They were like, sure. So
remember when you said, I can't wait to do this again?
Yeah, it was exactly it. You know
Good news.
You know how bad, you know when you like wave to somebody after like lunch and you're like walking the same way?
Yes.
This was like that times 1,000 because like we said goodbye, like we're never gonna, because I live in Utah. I was like, we may see you in 10 years. I don't know, we're gonna see you. So we take these pictures and we say goodbye and I literally turn back around. We're at their house for 2 more days. And it was almost like, well, we've kind of done we talked about everything with, it was a weird.
Not much has happened since
it
the
was
road
a
to
really
the-
weird space to be
Because
in.
you really do, like, it's like we naturally know where to draw the line in our communication, what we're going to get to.
Yeah.
Then you're to the airport and it's a bow.
Yeah.
It's a bow.
Yes.
And you don't want to unravel the bow.
Yep.
It's like when my grandfather was going to pass away.
Yeah.
And we all went and said our final message to him. And I gave him this whole speech.
Yeah.
And he lived for 2 more years. And it was so awkward after that. It was like, Papa already kind of said everything. I don't want to open up anything. And I was like, he did pass away.
Yeah, finally.
And I felt at peace. And Andy's like, are you okay? And I go, kind of. I mean, we wrapped up 2 years ago.
That's really funny.
But
yeah, but our trip was good. But I do, like I said, I just think, gosh, and I know that 10 years down the road, I'm going to remember like the good times and not the drama. But like, man, being in a car, being in a plane, being in a hotel room with kids, it's
no
just
joke.
like, oh,
you kind of wear.
Well, because like in your everyday life, like you go to school, they go to work, like you're not with them for like 24 hours in a row. But then on a vacation, it's like all family all the time, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, and like. As a teenager, I experienced that. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of my family. And as a parent, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of my family. Like, you just kind of get to this point where it's like,
hard
we've been
to find
together
the
a
good
lot.
balance.
We've been together a lot.
I had the almost opposite experience in that Andy went on a mission trip to Padre to do beach reach.
Yes.
So he was able to share the gospel. He had a really great trip. They had, I think, over 50 kids coming to know Jesus off the beach. And then, and he told us about that. And it was an incredible experience. Yeah. And then Olivia went with our youth group, our student ministry to Guatemala. Yeah. And, they do a senior trip every year. Yes. And for years, it has been to Ecuador. Yeah. An amazing experience there. But the
things
political
are crazy
unrest,
in Ecuador.
We weren't able to do that as we talked to Katia on our show.
It is Kati, not Katia.
Kati.
But she actually ended up coming to Guatemala, I think. So she got to be a part of it.
She got to hang out with them. So I thought that was cool. So it was me. I drove with myself and the dog. That's a source of joy.
Oh, you didn't fly to Florida?
I did not fly to Florida. It's Pensacola. And the dog decided to come with me. He and Andy had a talk and they're like, this is what's happening.
Wow.
So Flynn and I drove to Pensacola. It was good. Mm-hmm. But some trips are like a vacation feel. And sometimes you just feel like you jump into your family's lives. Yeah. And that's what I did. I just jumped into their lives.
Because it was just you. Because it wasn't me. Like, you didn't have to entertain it.
So they're like, family. My little niece had a lacrosse game and I got to go see lacrosse for the first time, which by the way, why is anyone doing that sport? That is the most
It's a pretty crazy sport.
Terrifying. I mean, it is like you put the field, the aggression,
and a weapon.
And they give everybody a stick.
Yeah, give them a weapon.
I just couldn't get over the danger. Anyway, so I watched it with shock and awe. Mm-hmm. It was really amazing. And I got to see my niece. And then the next night, we went to go see my other niece in a softball game. And on my way to the softball game, they're like, oh, the first niece, she got a concussion. Go pick her up at this game. So we had to go back to pick her up from the lacrosse field. And we eventually got to the ER. And then my family
So it did prove to be dangerous. You were right to be concerned.
It proved to be dangerous.
Yeah.
And my family's like, I thought you were coming to play cards. I'm like, I'm in the ER. Let me wrap this up. I'll come back and play cards. So I go play cards. And it's just like being thrown in with everybody's game. Yes. But it was so good to be with family. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's so great. Good. And then to come back and see, Olivia and Andy and hear about their weeks. It was great. Yeah. I got to be on the beach for listen, y'all, this is embarrassing to admit, but once you get my age, you don't want to be on the beach all day. You can just feel your skin aging, literally. I put on this stuff. And then your eyeballs, I forgot sunglasses. I was afraid I was going to get cataracts right there sitting on the beach.
You didn't have any sunglasses the whole trip or just for the
sunglasses to the beach. It was like, and I put my arm over. It was just like, so literally I was out there for about 18 minutes.
Was it warm enough for the beach?
Yes. It was beautiful. It was totally serene. It was beautiful. I took my picture.
You had to look at it like this.
I know.
I squint the
4 minutes while I still had eyeballs. I loved it. And then it all went black. Okay. Yeah. And so and then in that weird green color.
Mhm.
But it was a good break.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of hyper today because I'm super excited about our interview.
Yeah. I do want to say, Jennifer, I'm on the trip. I had some time. We actually took a shuttle like 2 hours away at one point. And so we're all like, for the first time I could put my headphones in and just hang out. And I was listening to stand-up comedians. And I think you and I are in the same boat where in our heads, we think we can do that, right? Like
Right.
you think you could do it.
You would love to do it. I don't think I can do it.
You don't think you can do it?
I think those people are delivering a full punchline every 20 seconds.
Well, let me tell you what happened to me since I listened
I
to
can't even burp every 20
those
seconds.
comedy things. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be like, oh, this would be a great bit for comedy. And I like remember it. And then I wake up and it's literally something like make a joke about how beds were invented. And like, I don't have anything. But in my sleep deprived state, I'm like, oh, this is so funny. Like
This
I
could
need
be
to
so
remember
great.
this. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna write a joke about this. I'm gonna start building my set. And I wake up and it's literally the dumbest thing I can imagine. And I'm just like, how do those guys take normal things and make them funny? And I
Right.
don't know how to get there, but it feels like it should
We've
be
even
easy.
had some comedy training by people on our show.
Yes.
I will say this. I will say that I think I've said this on the show. I will try out bits with people in my everyday life. And Andy is with me all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'll look at me and say, quit trying that. It's not funny. Like he can tell when I'm shopping it.
Yeah.
And I'll even there's something lately that I've wanted to make funny so bad.
Yeah.
And I keep saying it over and over again. And I finally got a chuckle.
Yes.
And I was
You
just
did
like,
it.
yes. And then I'm like, what did I do different?
Oh,
what was
yeah. It's
different?
hard.
And I don't know what it was. Anyway, but I shop humor all the time with the people in my life.
I just feel like you could do it. I feel like you could
Do
do
you
it.
really think I could
Yes,
do
I
it?
think you could do it.
I thought you were building up to say, I don't know how these people do it.
I don't know how they
it.
do it, but I feel like of all the people I know, you could.
Justin, that's the nicest thing
Yeah.
ever.
I think it takes a little bit of like, you got to write it out and think it out and stuff like that.
I think it's the thinking it out. It's the
Yeah.
writing it out. But I do think I love it when something hits you that you didn't know was going to be so funny.
Mhm.
And it's so highly relatable and
Right.
everyone's experiencing it, but we
Mhm.
don't. I will say this, being on TikTok, it really hits you how much all of us are experiencing so much the same thing at the
Yeah.
same time, all the time.
Yeah.
And there's so much relatability.
You're all worried about Kate Middleton.
But when someone, okay, so this is the part of the show. It is
or
like
you admit the
confession.
dark holes you've been down.
Justin,
Kate
I got
Middleton.
way too into that. I think I even got a little God was like,
Calm down.
you gotta.
There's still
This is
conspiracy.
maybe
People
an
are even
idol.
saying the video she put out is AI.
They
there
are.
still conspiracies.
And I know that, but at some point I'm like, these people are getting so many clicks off this.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
now you're at the point where you're getting clicks
Mhm.
because you and you're willing
Yeah.
to do this to this person in order to get clicks. And I just can't support it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yes, they're capitalizing on her and like,
Which I think is
really-
kind of icky.
It is kind of gross.
But I mean,
We were all worried about her for a while.
We were all worried because they had us believing that she had not made it.
Yeah.
She had passed away,
Mhm.
that she was hiding, that
Yeah.
she was being locked up, that
Yeah.
she had
She wanted to get away and she couldn't. That she was
Yes.
actually dead and not alive, and they've just like been pretending.
had her locked up in one of the palaces.
Yeah, but like even the video came out and they're like, "This is AI." I'm like, "Okay, guys, okay, we gotta let's get out of here."
So meanwhile, Kate Middleton, that's all anyone can talk about for a
Uh-huh.
week. And then at the same time, this other girl becomes like a star in one 2-second video where she's being ordered Chick-fil-A. And she makes
her name
two.
is Gina. Okay,
Her name is Gina.
has
She
a
makes
name.
two crazy faces.
Yeah,
And she I can't explain it. You have to look it up.
she has
Gina,
over 1 million followers.
Chick-fil-A
now. Or
girl.
from that one video, she has 1 million.
One
followers.
video, and they've had so many cartoons out of it.
Yeah.
So many people have redone it.
Yeah,
One 3-second video.
yeah.
No Chick-fil-A sauce. And even today, we were ordering Chick-fil-A for some of our people.
I bet they get it all the time at Chick-fil-A.
and one
now.
of
They
the
hate it.
teenagers goes, no Chick-fil-A sauce? And I'm like, there we are.
It's it. It's
Anyway,
a meme now.
it's a meme.
It's a meme.
Speaking of teenagers,
we have real life teenagers. on
we
the show.
finally have got teenagers on the show.
Well, for the first time, we have a holiday on a weekday that we can hang out.
and
So,
yet we still had to drag them out of bed. Well, one of them. I won't say
won't
which
name
one.
any names.
Right. This is a really exciting show for me. I'm really pumped
Yeah,
because
it's a big day.
It is a big day because we have two very special guests that I can say I've known one since they stepped onto the planet
Yep.
and the other since she was 5.
Wow.
Welcome some of our amazing students, Elisa Adams and Olivia Dennis.
Hooray! This is the first time we've had actual teenagers on, which I'm pretty excited about.
I'm kind of a little nervous. And are you
We're
guys
nervous too.
Yes.
You guys are a little nervous?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not like a professional podcaster.
You
yet.
think she is?
No.
You think your mother is?
What?
I'm just kidding. She's the best podcaster.
That you know personally,
Yeah, that I
that
know.
lives with you.
Do you ever have to like
In
listen?
Houston.
Do you ever have to like listen to it when your dad's listening to it? Like,
I've actually never listened to a full podcast episode.
What?
not even just us. Of any
I thought
podcast.
you were listening to.
Oh, I have of other podcasts.
Okay, what podcast do you listen to?
I've listened to some murder mystery ones.
Oh,
okay,
man.
Of course.
Yeah, and then I listen to like some like teen girls that just,
Yeah.
live in LA.
Oh, yeah.
And I just love to hear their life too.
Yeah.
So. And I feel like that's different than this.
It is
It is different
I
from
feel
I
like
us.
it's a
listen
little
to
different.
Sadie Robertson. Whoa, that's good
Yes,
podcast.
that's
It's a
what I
Christian-
listen to.
It's a Christian podcast. I listen to it
Yeah.
before I go to bed.
Nice.
Yes, it's
Yes.
good.
We rarely cover murders in our podcast.
Oh, okay.
We could do that more.
Maybe it could be a new
probably-
edition.
Yeah.
A new
Yeah.
edition.
We could dig
Let's
up
start
some
that with
murders,
this episode.
cause some murders, whatever. So I brought you guys on for a very specific purpose, but we actually have like lots to talk about. But we'll begin with you guys just got back from your senior mission trip, which is unique to our church. Tell us about the idea of the senior mission trip.
Okay, so we went to Guatemala where we served the people of Kenya, and we were supposed to go to Ecuador, but there was some
Political unrest.
yes, there was some of that. And so we got called to go to Guatemala instead, and it was a really good time. I had a lot of fun.
For sure.
It was really
so
fun.
much fun. Yeah, so like our senior groups around school were definitely doing some other trips. And we decided to choose Guatemala, which was literally awesome. It was amazing. And each day we had different groups. It was like north, west, east, south. And me and Elisa got to be in the same group, and it was west. And so our group was kind of fun because we only had one translator and all the other groups had like 4. So it was kind of funny, like just seeing ways God would move just with our one translator. But yeah, it was so much fun. And we had like different things to do every day. So we got to make different relationships every day.
Oh, that's cool. So tell us about Elisa, tell us something, what was something that you did on the trip?
So we went to a refuge and we got assigned with like different jobs. Olivia got assigned to be put in the kitchen. Ashley, one of our youth associates, got assigned to be like a physical therapist, and I got assigned to be like a doctor. So it was really like kind of funny because
Performing surgeries
right?
or like
No, it was funny because
Yeah.
it was like
What?
like helping them use the restroom, showering, like giving them like pedicures, braiding their hair,
Mhm.
and like I even like listened to like one of the patient's heartbeats, and like she like had me like tell her like what it like sounded like by like doing it on the table, like like the pattern, and like she didn't need me to like help her do that, but
Right.
they were just like trying to like find fun ways for us to like be involved and like help out.
That's cool that you got assigned doctor.
I know.
That is
And
wild.
Did
Yeah, I
that
know.
inspire you to a new career one day?
No.
Olivia, did they have to like show you where the kitchen was or what to do in it? What was your
They definitely felt bad for me because I was like trying to like really figure out how to make a tortilla, and my hands just weren't fast, and there was this huge stove, like almost like it looked like a pancake maker
Like a griddle?
type thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so they were like, okay, now you touch it and flip the pan or tortilla.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, no, like, and like we didn't speak the same language. So I was like, oh no, like hot. And they're like, no, you flip, like you put your thumb and flip. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Gonna burn
And
off
so-
your fingers.
I know. I was like, you guys, like y'all do this every day. I don't. So I'm just gonna watch. But then I ended up doing it, and they all cheered for me. And I was like, okay, maybe I can do this again. But I only ended up doing it once. But it was super fun.
then you were at the med clinic
Yeah,
with Elisa
I saw Lisa.
with some burns stuff on your
Yeah.
fingers.
With a Band-Aid.
You're like, I'm gonna miss those fingerprints.
Yeah. But they definitely kind of like, they did not need us in their day. But
Yeah,
like,
it was so sweet. Like, yeah, interacting with all the people in there, like it was very sweet because this refuge is for people whose parents either like or families like can't take care of them, or they are abandoned. So it was just really sweet to like see that they like wanted like quality time with people that like weren't just people that were in their everyday lives, like the normal people that help
So
them out.
you guys also had a day where you we're able to share the gospel and give them shoes. And you guys were foot washing. You were feet washing.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So we went to this school, and every day a group would go to a different school. So we like had no idea what to expect.
Right.
And so we go to this school, and like there's just kids like holding on to the gate with their little hands, and we're just like, oh.
They were like running out to like come and like see us.
And they're
so
super
sweet.
nervous because they've never seen people like us before. They're like, oh my goodness, like who are they?
Yeah.
And so we like come in with these big bags of shoes, and they're just like, their like eyes just like widen. And so we get into the gate, and they just like hug us. They just give us the biggest
they all
hugs.
just like all come up and like start hugging us, and like it was so sweet.
And so we had a moment where there was like over like,
it was like 80 kids.
yeah, over 50 kids for sure. And we were like, okay, well, what do we do? Because they were all sitting there just like kind of
waiting on the steps, just like
by
watching
us.
us. Like,
Yeah.
Were
so
they
we were
quietly just watching you?
they were like chattering amongst their friends, like pointing, like looking at all of us, like, oh, like what are they here for? Like, what are they doing?
And so we were trying to figure out like different things. Like we were like, what is baby shark in Spanish? What is baby shark in Spanish? And we like really could not figure it out for the life of us. But then we started getting the materials for the foot washing. So then we started with like the youngest grade. And so it was our first time, obviously. And so we were kind of lost because there was one translator and 4 foot washers. And we were like, wow, this is a lot. Yeah. So we like each had a person, and then she would just come by super fast, but it like ended up being an amazing experience. Yeah. It was beautiful.
Oh, and then you gave them the gospel bracelet.
Yes, it was so sweet. One little girl, like after she was done getting her foot washed, just came and like sat between me and Olivia and just like watched us like wash all the other kids' feet. And it was so sweat.
Yeah, and a lot of the like the bracelets, like I mean they're cute, but like not like super like woo. And all the girls were like, oh, bonita.
They loved it so much.
I know, so they were super happy about it.
That's so good. I love that you guys were able to take part in that. So now that you've been on this trip and you've obviously got to bond with each other as seniors, it's your last year. How does this like push you out? Like as you're like, this is kind of like one of your last. In fact, Olivia was packing up on the trip to leave, you know, and she's and all the
and
moms,
you're weeping in a corner.
The moms are all crying, and Olivia comes up to me. She's like, she's about to leave, and she goes, "Mom, why are you crying? We've done this like so many times. Why are you crying?" I go, "Because it's the last one." And she's like, "Oh, Mom!" And then Olivia starts crying. Because this is the last one. But how did this trip kind of propel you moving forward into college?
I think like really coming back to Houston, I like really realized like what like good relationships meant to me. Cause like being with a good group of senior like girls and guys was just like, okay, like this is what I've been looking for, and this is what I'm gonna be looking for in college. And so like I think getting those last moments in with like those like amazing people and making some really funny memories.
Yes,
I'm just like,
definitely
this is the people I'm looking for, you know?
Yeah.
And like I still have amazing people in Houston, but like really like this group of people have like set my mind to like what I'm looking for. And so that really helped me going off into college.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it showed us like kind of how to like build our day in a sense, because in Guatemala, it was all centered around like serving in Christ and just like really being like devoted and like just carrying out your day like how a disciple would. So like getting up in the morning and reading your Bible and doing your doing your devotionals, and just like it showed kind of like how to have like discipline, like because whenever they're here, like it's like they're planning out your day for you. And I feel like that's something that I'm excited to like take back to college, and like I've started doing at home more, is like going to bed earlier or waking up earlier so I can like read and like just spend time.
So as you think and reflect back on the week, what was something that really stood out to you as especially meaningful?
I think on the last night, we were with Greg and his family at his house, and we had this huge bonfire, and we were kind of just praying, debriefing the week. It was a very sweet moment. And then they started bringing out like the big tubs that we would wash the kids' feet in, and started washing our feet, and like prayed over us and our like journey to college and our next few months just left in Houston.
It was
and
so
it was
sweet.
The sweetest moment. And like everyone was super emotional, and it would just like, it made me feel so loved and appreciated by our church. And like, I'm so happy they did that. I think that's the first time they've done that.
Yeah. It was like very eye-opening for sure. Cause like we were just kind of seeing the trip as us serving other people. And then for the people that took us on this trip to then serve us by washing our feet, I feel like that was very sentimental. And also our leaders.
Your dad was on the trip with you.
Yes.
How was it having your dad?
It was so much fun.
Some parents were barred from going.
Yes. No.
Okay.
It was definitely really fun. I loved having my dad there. Like, I mean, we didn't really spend like a lot of time together. We weren't like inseparable, but like he was in our group for like our missions and stuff. And like he would mainly be like pouring into the boys, which I thought was really sweet. Like he like was like the boys' leader.
He like kept Wes together.
Yes.
Like he was like, all right, y'all.
He
like,
was on top of it. He got us ice cream like
every single day. We would have a new ice cream shop
treat.
every time.
It was amazing.
We're big Buster fans around
Yes.
Big
so
Buster
good.
fans.
So now you guys are seniors. You're kind of moving out of the youth group. What would you tell a parent or listeners who have, right now they have a 5th grader and they're about to move into the 6th grade here in our ministry? What would be your advice to them as they're sending someone into the student ministry for the first year?
I think to literally just be involved. Like, really, I don't think I would have any of these relationships if I wasn't as involved as I was. And I think like, you know, like church, like as like a high schooler, it's kind of harder because like there's such an image of church and like goody. But like I've loved staying so like consistent going to church. And so I think like being with Ashley and Tim and Grayson and Jenny is also so fulfilling. Like they're just so sweet.
Yeah.
And they're literally there whenever you need them.
Right.
And so I just think that like if you stay involved, like you're going to get so much out of it. And so
just committing, going every Wednesday, especially while you're in middle school. Cause I feel like when you're in middle school, you don't really have a lot going on. It's a lot easier to be plugged in. Like your parents are the ones that are driving you. It's not like you have like the reins of like choosing when to go. So like, I feel like middle school is having like the prime time to like go to all the events, go to the dinners, the parties, the retreats, all that stuff. Like, yes, I totally think that you should just full send into full send.
Yeah, pull up.
Okay, so that's one I do want to say. They worked so hard. Like there have been years where either of you guys maybe didn't have a best buddy in the youth group, didn't have like a close friend. I feel like the team is really good about hanging close to you during those seasons where you don't have a lot of friends in the youth group, where you don't have a lot of people to hang out with. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things I adore about them is that they really look out for that kid who just can't easily connect.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're looking at your kid, you're like, they're not going to want to do this. This is not going to be an option. I feel like they are really great at serving in that space while God answers prayers for friendships, meaningful, deep spiritual friendships.
And also I've noticed this a lot. Like there's someone for everyone. Like there's like literally a buddy for anyone. They've really just got to put themselves out there. So I've noticed that recently with the middle schoolers because they're a lot different than high schoolers. But it's funny to see how they work.
Do they look like children coming into you now?
Yes.
Yes. They look so little. I'm like, they're in 6th grade. They're in 7th grade. Like, that's insane.
Like some of the kid rally kids being in youth group now is like really like, what are you doing in here? This is crazy. But I love it.
Where's your tag? Where's your security tag? It's really funny. Olivia yesterday, I don't remember where we were. And Olivia goes, Mom, like people are picking their kids up. I forget people actually do that.
I know. There was these 2 girls getting picked up from Torchy's after lunch. And I was like, I totally forgot like that they have to like call their moms to come pick them up. Like, I don't know why that like struck me, but it did.
Well, we definitely don't want them driving. Not at 11, 12. That's amazing though. I think that's a really good word. And then you guys have been through the entire experience. I remember you guys have been involved since. You guys both did Awana? Do y'all remember Awana?
Yes.
With the vest and the little like
I never had
pins.
Enough like flight pins. I was annoying.
Yes, because you had the little pen, and then you had the gems that went on it, and you had to like fill it up and then get the next one.
I was jealous.
Did you enjoy it? Like, did you?
Oh, I loved it. It was awesome.
You loaded up on.
She still wears her vest.
And then they would have like the Awana store.
The Awana bucks. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Olivia.
She misses Awana.
Dude,
I was an
miss
Awana leader, and Olivia was in my group. And every week during the week, I'm like, Olivia, let's work on your Awana. Because I think Olivia had 3 Awana bucks at the end of the year.
I think I had like 1 gem, and it was like the lowest one you could get.
They're like, Olivia, you get a sticker.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, the store was you could get a lava lamp.
Some of those people would load up. They would get their families like a new car. They're like, I memorized the New Testament. It's like Mary Kay. Like, I'm driving out of here with a family van.
I could get us like a friendship bracelet.
They're like taking they're taking their family to like Paris, and Olivia's got a scratch and sniff sticker.
Oh my god!
I can see now.
Always done for scratch and sniff sticker. I said it.
You're like, I know Noah got a scholarship. but ain't nobody hating on my marker.
Yeah, Noah's not going to his dream middle school, so.
All right. Well, I do love Awana, but I remember that's when I got to know your mom.
Yes.
Because we would hang out, like, and we were both teachers, and we would visit every Wednesday night and talk about how hard it was to be teachers, and we'd visit. It's just crazy.
Have dinner. Remember when you had to have dinner all together? Before,
in the gym.
In the gym. That was like.
Did you ever do dinners in the gym?
That's like a memory unlocked. The spaghetti. They would always have like, they'd have like the cheese stick and like salad and bread station.
Yes.
And then they'd have like whatever entree it was. And then everyone would be at the circle tables. Oh, it was
visit family
awesome.
Night at the church.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people use that time to practice their verses.
Right.
But not everybody.
I was enjoying my spaghetti. Obviously.
It was so good.
He's like, why do we have to do that right now? And I'm like, because we got water.
Kids are in the corner, like.
And then you have
kids
to go,
are in their little groups
go to
just studying their
choir,
books.
and then you'd go to Awana. Oh,
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
times, good times.
I like don't remember any of this, but I like being.
Do you really not remember any of this?
No, I do remember the like vests and the pins.
I remember
do
it
not
all.
remember all one a buck. I don't think.
Yeah, because then you
I don't
go
think
to the
it's-
store.
I think
It was
maybe
like-
because you didn't
it was
get
like
any.
it was the end of the year
Sounds
thing.
like
It
you
was
didn't
like
have
right
any.
before you got dismissed for summer, you would accumulate all
even
the
know
Some
which
bucks.
one
kids
was-
even had their own special wallets. They had their Awana buck wallets. And they're like personalized.
And like Olivia just has like a little Ziploc bag with her $1 and her
Like,
scratch and sniff
I
sticker
want
trash.
a coin. I didn't know this existed.
Olivia, we're just going to leave your Awana buck here for special.
Olivia will give it to somebody who needs that $1 extra to get that easy bake oven.
Get that
Easy
easy.
thing up.
We're thinking about bringing back Awanas in the fall.
Oh my gosh.
Are you really?
Do it for the
We're
kids.
thinking about it.
Do it for the kids.
Do it for the kids.
For the
I'm
kids,
praying about it. We're
FTK.
praying about it. We're looking
Dude,
into
that
Wednesday night
Elisa's gonna be
programming.
in
That little
college.
bug, that little ant.
Take a
that
wild
little-
guess
that
who's coming
poster
back to be a
child.
leader helper.
I'll come
Olivia.
back.
Oh yeah, y'all are gonna be
Oh.
gone. That's so sad.
A&M's not that far. Where are you going?
Either OU or SFA.
Okay, they're both pretty
That's
far.
great,
Good
great
options.
choices. But too far to drive back for a Wednesday night for sure.
Right.
Man, that's so good. Well, I'm trying to think if we wrap up, or we've got to give him the crazy question.
Yeah, the get to know you
The
question.
crazy question.
This was fast. I feel like
Time
this
flies
just went
around
by so
fine.
How long
fast.
has the show been so far?
I
think
can't see.
It feels
from
like
here.
around 18 minutes,
Yeah.
18 to 22 minutes.
It's great.
Wow.
We do another little section when you guys aren't sitting here, and that
Like leading up to the
Mhm.
leading up to the
questions.
actual
Our little
interview.
catch up, our check in.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so every week we do a little get to know you question, and
And Jennifer makes it up on the spot, even though she knows it happens every week. She never. is
She
ready.
never prepares.
It is coming to her. She's actually happy I'm talking. 'Cause
I
she's
am
like,
happy.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Justin's talking.
It
Justin
feels
keeps
just-
talking. I can land on the question.
All right, let's ask you guys this. I feel like we're asking a special question of teenagers
I like that.
because it's teenager centered.
Mhm.
So my question is, if you could go back in time, let's do this through all of the TV that you watch, all the shows that you watch growing up, and you could move into the actual set of any of your favorite shows growing up as kids. You could move in and be a character on that set of that TV show. Where would you choose?
Do you want to
Okay.
start though? Do you have one?
Let me think.
Because I don't even know what shows you watched growing up. Not to be like rude, but I don't know what shows were around.
Well, I know. Yeah, right. That's embarrassing to admit. I could almost move into Olivia's Disney shows because I watched them all with her.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
Wizards
thinking
of Waverly
Disney
Place is pretty
too.
incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I know where I would move in.
Where?
I don't know why it took me this long. Facts of Life.
Facts of Life.
I would have moved immediately into the Facts of Life. You take the good, you take the bad.
Isn't that
you
about
take
an
the
I
orphanage?
don't even know the facts of life.
It's it's a boarding
A
school.
boarding school for
Justin.
girls. Okay.
It's a boarding school for girls, and there's Blair
Yeah.
and Tootie,
Mhm.
and they were
Aw.
so
and the
fun.
other ones.
And Joe and Natalie, she was the funny one,
Yeah.
and Tootie ran around in roller skates everywhere she went.
wow.
Absolutely, the Facts of Life.
I mean, as far as like the coolest bedroom goes, growing up for me, none of y'all probably watched it. Hey Arnold, the guy had like a skylight and like his bed would fold down from the wall and he had like all these like
That's so
contraptions.
cool.
It's always
Like,
the
I'm-
beds that fall down.
I
from
want
the
to,
wall.
yes, I want a cool bedroom is what I wanted growing up. So any show with a cool bedroom, I was like, I want to be in that show.
Yeah.
I think I would choose Jessie.
I was gonna say that the penthouse in New York.
Literally, it's
that
my
would
dream
be
house.
awesome.
And all their rooms have something different, like
Yes.
Luke's trampoline bed.
Yes,
What?
and then like
Would sleep in
Robbie
that
had
any
his
day.
like his reptile
Yeah,
cage
his
from
Miss Kipling. Yep.
Whoa.
And there was a big playground in the room.
Yes, and they lived like
Wow.
on the top of they lived in a penthouse, so it was like the hotel, and then they had a penthouse, and then they were like walked outside, and it was Central Park. Like that's
Whoa.
Yeah,
so
I think the
cool.
coolest part to me is that they had an elevator to their room.
Yes.
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
so why isn't this in
Yes.
our apartment?
So like,
I used to be
anybody
upset.
could just
Yeah, just
Hop on
pop
up
right,
right
in.
up into the middle of their living room.
Right,
The
yeah.
hallway.
Exactly. And
Maybe
I
they need a
just
key.
the movie room, it was just
oh yes, they had a
perfect.
theater.
It was just perfect.
And a butler.
Yeah,
And a
the butler. And
If
the
I-
cast is also so fun.
Yes.
I like would want to be a sibling.
That's
in
so
that.
funny. I would have thought you'd chosen Austin and Allie.
They don't even live in a house.
if I wouldn't have picked
I think
they just know that you never
They
see them
live
at their
in a
music
house.
store
Oh.
or it's at their music store.
They're always at the store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess who's working at the pillow store?
Guess you just got a headband shop ticket. I don't know.
No. If I couldn't pick if I couldn't do Jessie, I feel like I would also do Full House. I feel like that house would just be
Oh,
so
yeah.
fun to live in and like just to have like
Yeah, right
fun,
there.
like uncle
San Fran-
relatives.
San Francisco.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
Fun
would be
people.
so fun.
And if you're having a sad day, they like give you a concert.
Yes, like,
Yeah.
what? That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Full
Look at
House.
Jesse.
They were always having the best days ever.
Yeah.
They had a full house for sure.
That's
though.
good.
There was a lot of room.
Well, you guys have like shared with us great things about your trip, and thank you so much for being on the show. And Jessica's
Thank
going to
you.
tell us a little bit more about it.
Yes, if you enjoyed this, please send it to someone. Teenagers, if you listen, can you like share it with people and help us get a lot more listeners?
Shameless plug.
And if you want us to talk to somebody on this show and you have a suggestion, please email us at podcast@cityrise.org.
Thank you. Thank you guys. And thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for
Thank
being here
you.
with us. We hope you've had an almost amazing time on the Almost Amazing podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Almost Amazing podcast from the City Rise Network based in Houston, Texas. City Rise is a partnership of church campuses, nonprofits, and missionaries devoted to lifting our city and the world by generously giving the gospel of Jesus Christ. For more information or to find a church campus close to you in the Houston area, visit cityrise.org.